Ken Dalton here from Bike Social. I'm on my way to Prague with Harley Davidson for their 115th anniversary celebrations. I'm riding a Fat Bob with the big new 114 cubic inch water-cooled engine. The bike is very interesting as it seems to be Harley's answer to what you would do if you were building the Mad Max bike stroke angry BMX. I kind of feel like I've been a naughty child all day today riding with the adults. I would say that the inspiration at the moment for this bike comes from the popular flat track scene. It is very much a flat track inspired bike. That said, I think it probably looks a little bit more like a BMX. The handlebars are very sort of motocross BMX inspired, and the riding position is quite upright. It's quite easy to ride with your feet on the forward pegs and on the rear pegs, which makes the bike quite comfortable to ride, especially long distance. I think the thing that I found a little bit difficult today was having my face in the window without a screen. The adults all had bigger bikes with big screens and they seemed fairly comfortable. I found I was sort of having to hold my head down into the wind all day. Something that I think we might be able to remedy with putting a small screen on tomorrow. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's riding because we're going to be riding to Germany, where I expect the tight switchback roads are going to have the adults finding that the kid on the BMX is going to be nipping on their heels. So the things I really loved about the bike today. Firstly, the big 114 motor, the massive torque. Rolling on in top gear is just unbelievable. It feels like you've got the hand of God pushing you along. The next thing that I thought was quite impressive was the really short wheelbase. This means that the bike turns so quickly. You could quite comfortably go up the middle of the lane and chop and change between the broken line. Not that I do something like that, of course, but I think it's possible. A nice touch that comes now standard with the bike is a USB charging cable. This makes things really useful when you're charging your phone or your sat-nav en route, or if you have your phone plugged in, powering some sort of music system. The other big thing that impressed me today was the brakes. You've got twin discs on the front and the power is quite immense. I mean, you tap the front brake and immediately you feel the effect. I'm sure this bike has the potential to do a stoppie. And this particular bike, you're not quite sure whether the bike's turned on. So the first thing that would go on this would be this standard exhaust in favor of a big full-bore, full noise system. Second to that would be the tail tidy. The number plate bracket on this bike seems a bit odd. It seems like an afterthought. It's something that sort of just seems to be tacked on the back of the wheel and hangs mid-air. So something nice like a side-mounted number plate bracket would probably go hand in hand with that new exhaust. The handling on the bike today was quite outstanding. I was leaning the bike over quite considerably. I never touched a boot heel or foot peg down. Which is quite unusual for what I'm used to. My breakout tends to touch a foot peg down at the mere hint of a turn. Today I was sort of hanging off the bike with quite a bit of a lean angle on, and there was none of that. It was also a lot lighter than my bike, probably a little bit heavier than its little brother, the 750 Street, and just really, absolute hoonigan, great fun bike to ride. The bike I was riding today has just over 2,000 miles on the clock, and the engine just seems to be getting better and stronger the further I ride. I had a little go on a Fat Bob a little later on in the day, also with a big 114 engine, and this has just over 6,500 miles, and the motor was a lot smoother and actually a lot stronger than the one I was using earlier today. So I'm guessing that with a few more miles on the clock, it's only going to get better. I don't really like riding in large organized bike rides. However, being invited to ride with the Davidsons and leading a group of 4,000 bikes is definitely a bucket list experience. Just seeing everyone lined up was a spectacle. They closed the roads off and we had the police escort, which kept the flow of the convoy moving. All in all, I had an epic ride on an epic bike and visited a city and got an experience that I never thought I'd ever have.